All right, next up, another one of our classic bets. Which is better? The 5th/6th gen or current wrestling games? So 5th, 6th gen would be PS1, PS2, N64, Saturn, GameCube, Xbox, that era. Or now.
So the natural instinct would be the 5th, 6th gen because you have No Mercy. All those wrestling games. There's no wrestling game better than No Mercy on the N64. All the ones before it, if you prefer it, that's a preference, but No
People would
Mercy.
say Revenge.
But they'd be wrong. Because you have more in No Mercy, and, more is better.
Right. More game modes, more character, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. So it's a preference of WCW or WWE. SmackDown 2. Based on our reviews, like we said, SmackDown 2 and No Mercy are the best wrestling games, like side by side. SmackDown 2 offers a hell of a lot more. It plays really well. But there's something about that No Mercy, that engine, and that style that you just can't really deny. The problem with modern wrestling games is now they're all just whatever WWE, 2K, throw a year. And they are glitchy as fuck, like most new games.
Well, you know what? It really depends on the year. Because it seems like you'll have...
Some years are really good. Like
some are better than others.
13 was great.
13 and 14 were great.
Yep.
15 sucked. 16 was okay. 17, no one talks about. 18 had a disastrous Switch port, but the other ports were okay.
Switch sucks anyway.
How dare you. 19, everyone seemed to love. And 20 is an abject disaster.
But here's the deal. If I'm going to be devil's advocate, aside from those ones, I would also throw Fire Pro Wrestling Returns.
Right. Or like even the 360 area, like WWE Superstars, which is kind of more of an arcadey one.
Yeah. Or whatever new... Yeah,
I mean, there was a TNA game, but no one really gives a shit about that.
So
there's a AAA game that was meh.
So if you're going on the actual play, then I think you go back to the old generation. Something about them just played. I think generally...
You know what it is? It's the Yaki engine.
Well,
any of the games that did that, like WrestleMania 2000, No Mercy,
no, but even
WCW vs. World, WCW Revenge,
SmackDown 2,
the New Japan games.
As we played and as we said in our reviews, those were Nike engines and they did just as well, if not better.
Right. They weren't more simulation-y. They were just more...
They were just still just
They were goofy
fun.
arcade.
Yes.
Fun. Yeah.
But the new ones, the thing is, you get the fullest experience if you're a wrestling fan. I don't know about you guys, but I don't just rely on current rosters. Like, if you're playing Fire Pro or any newest SmackDowns, you have over 100 creator wrestlers. The fact that you can import your own...
thousands.
Yeah. The fact that you can import your own music, you can upload pictures. You can literally just have your roster be all your old wrestlers that you enjoyed and just play with those. And you can make every move the way you want. If you are someone like Jim, who like maybe just had a boner for like Goldust and you wanted to make him the best even though he wasn't.
He is the best.
You could do that. And you can make the game your own on an engine that it definitely looks better. It sounds better. Whatever. But the gameplay is where it really boils down to. So if you want full customization and the ability to make the game whatever you want, you're going to go with modern. Right. If you want just pick up and play, you're going to go with, I feel, like the older systems.
And even friends of ours like Hibiki and Logan Myers, like they run they run parts of their YouTube page using WWE 2K19 and shit like that. Or
exactly.
Fire Pro. And, they'll do their commentary as if it's a real promotion on top of it and shit like that. Right. Which, as Jim Tunney, executive president of both of them, son of Jack Tunney, deep cut.
Yeah, so...
cheap promo.
Even though Jim is still the one that watches and is into current wrestling...
NWA Power is the one where it's at right now. Fuck WWE and even AEW Dynamite. No. NWA, that's where it's at.
Putting Jim's bullshit, just trying to get the views for the hottest hashtag.
Oh, yeah, because NWA brings the views.
My point
Nick Aldis is really going to bring that shit in.
I still, to this day, have like Jim said, thousands of created W's in Fire Pro. I create from simulation standpoint, I create my own league, create my own champions, do whatever. Because when I was a kid, I had this super nerdy thing of the old school binders. I don't know if current kids still use it, but 3-ring binders. I'd have rosters of every wrestler available. I would have literally, you pull from a hat, you pull them out, and you do a coin toss, and I would make a simulation just on paper wrestling league. So, Fire Pro for me is that, with music, with whatever. Doesn't look that great because it's still that same old isometric whatever. But I did the same thing with WWE 2K13 and 14 because you could create enough different wrestlers. And that was my favorite genre, or my favorite time anyway, Attitude Era, which is undisputedly the best era of wrestling, period.
I mean, it's either that or like mid-'80s, early 90s.
The golden era, yeah.
Right. The golden era, the Attitude Era, and that's it.
That's it. Everything else, don't even try to fight. So, man, like I said, for me personally, if I'm going which is better, fuck. My nostalgia is all with the old one, and if you're going to pick up and play, it's with the old one. But if I'm going with options available to someone who really likes wrestling and cares about it, you got to go with the modern. Because I know Jim will go with the old one, because that's his only reference point.
I played 13 and 14.
That's where it died, Jim. You need to play at least somewhat newer than that.
Yeah, baby.
Damn. I'll just go newer, just go against Jim. Even though I don't truly have an opinion, this is one of the few ones where I'm really on the fence, because I know gameplay-wise I like the old ones better. But I like the options. And I'm still sore on No Mercy for the save hour.
Oh, God.
But
yeah, I'm obviously nostalgia and just overall fun factor. Like, I'm going to go any with the Aki Engine games or the early SmackDown games. I got to go with the old ones.
Yeah. And either one.
And I'll fully say, like, just because it's old doesn't mean it's good. Like,
No.
the 16-bit games by Acclaim.
No. Anything before those, you can't argue that a wrestling game.
It's what we had. Like, I love WrestleMania Arcade game.
But it sucked. Like
It didn't suck. It's fun, but it's not a like simulation, obviously.
No. Until you got to N64 and PS1, wrestling was like, you dealt with it because you liked wrestling.
Right.
You didn't deal with it because it was a great game. Then the N64 and PS1 games, you're like, oh, SmackDown, all those WCW, WWE games. You're like, these are actually really good. And then after that, there was that generation of like, I just call them PS2 games. I know they came out on GameCube.
Right.
But SmackDown versus Raw, those were fucking amazing. Like, they were really good because they kind of combined everything. And then you have the generation after where wrestling became like every other sports title. It was just a yearly thing that came out.
Some upgrades that were good and bad.
Yeah. And
it's what we see now, like we said. Like, some games are really good, some are the shits. So
yeah. And just because I love the ability...
Importing characters is crazy that people make.
Importing characters, creating characters. I got to the point when once I hit, 2004, 2005, that's all I looked for in a wrestling game.
Yeah.
Like, the gameplay mechanics were, okay, they mostly play off the same engine. You know what you're expecting. You can do this and that. The match styles didn't matter as much. I wasn't doing local co-op anymore. So it doesn't matter as much, but... You know, once again, we go back to what's fun to sit down and play. The old ones are better. What has the most options and gives you the best wrestling experience? The newer ones.
Yeah.